Where last we left our heroes, Danir the Tabaxi Wizard, Asmo the Sneckman Fighter, Nara the Drow Sorceress, and Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock have finally made their way into the Feywild after traveling through the overgrowth, the time-distorting mists outside of the mountain ranges, and by passing the test of Tirithul, the guardian of the gateway into the realm of the Fey. They found themselves in a mystical forest in the Fey realm, a land with multiple stars lining the sky, multiple suns, I should say, and many magical creatures and chimera, including a pool full of water nymphs that were very excited to be landed in. They traveled their way through the mystic vineyards and farmlands dotting the outskirts of the city of Lone Othrond to find themselves in front of a white shack. Upon investigation, the shack queried them as to their origin, taking a droplet of Wolfgang's blood, only to immediately expand, revealing a gateway. The party stands before what seems to be an extra-dimensional city. As you look in to this expanse in front of you that the shack had turned into, you see before you a what seems to be a promenade of sorts in this the city of Lone Othrond. There are many elven people wandering through the streets of this city. They seem very curious as to not only the fact that the gate has opened, but at the visage of the 4 figures standing in it. These elves are all very posh looking, very interestingly dressed. You've never seen threads of this cut, of this make, of this design. One particular elven woman staring at you, holding a sequined satchel to her side, the head of a pink pixie dragon peering out. They all seem to be staring kind of some with a look of mild amusement, some with a look of horror upon their face, some with this a majority of them with this curiosity. There's probably a few dozen people sprinkling this promenade. The promenade itself, the city's grand entrance, it's this large paved walking path encircling a circular lake that's maybe 100 meters in diameter, or 100 meters in radius. At the center of this lake stands a large golden statue of a kind-eyed, wizened elf, holding a staff in one hand and reaching out a beckoning hand with the other. The promenade seems to be, as you glance around, various smells and sights hit you. The promenade seems to be belted by a series of cafes, shops, and various small entertainment venues. And with that, I'll kick you over to the map of Lone Othrond that I painstakingly crafted. It looks so beautiful, I know. The map is not to scale. The markers for yourselves are just to let you know where you are.
I want you to know, Nick, that this is still better than nothing somehow. I mean this.
Somehow better than nothing. Thank you. That's an immense compliment.
No, I mean this. If I know in placement and in which direction other areas are, I can fucking understand things better. One of my biggest beef with some novels I read is I don't understand a battlefield when they talk about positioning because I don't understand the context. But now I do. It is a compliment from me, just terribly worded by me.
No, I understood what you meant.
Somehow.
It was better than nothing, Taka. There we go. I found my way around to it.
Hey, hours, my dude. I am impressed.
All right. So this gateway opens up, and you see all of these elves. Some of them like glance at you for a moment and then try to continue on their day. Others continue gawking as you stand there.
Well, this seems welcoming.
Wolfgang will just slowly raise a hand and wave to the staring people.
A little elf girl, kind of like hiding behind the skirt of her mother, kind of peeks around and gives you like a little finger wave back, and then hides behind her mother again.
Asmo more or less just grabs her hand.
Grabs whose hand?
Nara's hand.
Ah, okay.
What? What? Do we need to run?
No, just stay close.
Why?
Guards are anything to go off of. I don't know if people are gonna be tactful here. Asmo bobs his eye ridges.
Gotta understand, we're probably the first new faces they've seen. Perhaps thousands of years.
You can see a small commotion as there seems to be something working its way through the crowd from around the right side of the lake/fountain.
Looks like one of the locals is on his way.
Or the welcome party.
They know we're here anyway.
Yeah, well, someone else might have just found out just now.
Sure enough, kind of hurrying along, brushing people aside as they move, 3 guards in uniform. Different from what you saw the officers wearing out in the fields. These are well-tailored maroon uniforms, each with arm guards, hip guards, greaves, and pauldrons adjoined by a chest guard. They're all of those pieces are made with that very well-fitted white metal, and an arcane insignia sits on their chest that seems to depict name and rank, if you can read Elven.
Asmo just kind of looks to Nara like, Can you read 11?
Whoever's in front, she'll look at their nameplate.
His name seems to be Captain Ivar. Yvarr.
Captain Ivar.
Says Captain Ivar.
He looks left and right to the people flanking him. Look to be ensign officers, low of rank. He kind of brushes himself off and steps forward. Which of you presented in Elven? Who here does speak Elven?
Me.
I've got
Okay.
comprehend languages.
All right, Wolfgang speaks Elven, so he would ask in Elven, which of you presented your blood?
That'd be me.
The High Commander wishes an audience with you.
Well, suppose that's something. We are here for a purpose, but I suppose that can wait.
Your purpose, no doubt, the High Commander will want to know. He looks at the faces that don't seem to be comprehending him, Asmo and Daenerys.
Daenerys has comprehend languages on.
He looks at Asmo.
Nara is like whispering this into Asmo's ear as they talk.
Is there a language you all share?
In common, I'll say, will this work?
He ponders for a moment. Yes, it has been some time since I have spoken in this tongue, but will this suffice for you visitors?
Yeah, more or less.
Fair enough. If there's some sort of language barrier that you can't quite overcome, some of us can understand Elven.
Wondercrack, then let us move.
Oh my god.
Asmo looks left and right thinking about that one.
Wolfgang tries to like fight down a smile.
Nara does not and smiles broadly at him.
Lead the way.
We will move thensely. And he starts walking.
Nara smiles up at Asmo.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I'm not really following everything they're saying, so hope you'll be able to fill in the gaps.
Probably not, but let's try anyway.
Yay.
No, we mustn't. You mustn't think less of them. They probably haven't done this in a while.
We are
Right.
told in the academy to learn many languages, for they might hold secrets that otherwise remain hidden.
That is fair enough.
Nara is still grinning at him.
We met a retinue of your scouts out there, led by a Tarsandir.
Yes. A fine graduate of the academy.
They're the
He
ones
is-
that pointed us in your direction.
Then you must have earned their trust in some way.
Oh, we've earned passage into this city. I hope at this point.
Nara pats her egg.
Do you know of the great beast that stalks the base of the mountain? One that can control time itself.
I have done studies of the beast, and it has made many grapples with our people.
It's mine now.
Yeah,
Nara pats it again.
you won't have to worry about it anymore. We kind of drowned it in the time pools until it turned into an egg.
Wondercrack.
Oh, you're really gonna keep saying that, aren't you?
Wolfgang like looks up to the corner of his head and just tries to figure out where crack and full sort of intertwine in the Elven language.
Is that not the phrase?
It's perfect. Never change.
He leads you through this promenade. The two guards that he was flanked by, kind of standing behind you. Everywhere you're traveling by, as you walk past cafes, various bakeries, little shops, you see a lot of people murmuring and staring towards you.
Nara very purposefully does the like Pennywise smile at anyone who gawks for too long.
As soon as you look at them, they would, avert their eyes and continue their relatively quieted conversations.
And here's as friendly as he can be, occasionally playing with Eska as they walk along.
There we go. All right, as you travel around the fountain, he leads you to a large wall at the center of this town. You can see this wall stands with a kind of almost a checker pattern of gray stone slab and white brick. Stretches about somewhere between 50 and 100 feet high. Beyond it sits a ever-stacking level of buildings, all made of white stone, which at the very center of them is a very tall spire that shoots off into the sky and seems to almost create the like almost touch the dome of this ethereal bubble for this space that you are in. This is the Marshall District. Inside, the High Commander would speak with you. And he points to, he beckons his hand to Wolfgang. It is not in my parameter to offer invitation to others.
Just me.
That was the request. If there are accommodations that need to be made, I can attempt.
I'll just look towards the group. Don't mind sitting out for here for a little bit, do you?
Well, that's really up to whether you want me in there or out here, Wolfgang.
I just don't want to cause a scene in a place that we've never been.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be with Nar the whole time, Wolfgang.
Oh boy.
Does that make you feel better or worse?
Don't worry, Wolfgang.
I'm not
I'll keep
sure.
an eye on them both.
Now I feel better.
What? Why is Daenerys the one that determines?
Because he's the most mature out of all of us, to be frank.
That's potentially true.
Wondercrack.
But I'm older.
Back.
If it is amenable, I could stay with them as well. The observation is necessary.
Just
What?
squints his eyes a little bit.
What does that mean?
Do whatever you feel is necessary.
Wondercrack. My men will lead you to the High Commander.
Thank you.
And the guards that were flanking you now step before you, Wolfgang, and usher you into the Marshall District, the military headquarters for the city of Lona Thrond. Inside, everything is very well polished. Imagine like you're walking into like a brand newly opened bank. Things are very shiny, very polished. There are a series of tubes, just sort of like, they look like crystalline tubes running along the ceiling, and every now and again you'll see kind of an aurora borealis like shimmer of light and waves and crackling energy shoot down one and then up another, running up and down these hallways. They lead you through the hallways past this admittance foyer and into a series of very well maintained stone and marble hallways where they deposit you at the heavy red-wooded door. And you said you could read Elven, right?
Yes, I can speak, read, and understand Elven.
On the door carved is a sigil that seems to depict High Commander, very like bodiced by like leafy floral insignias, and beneath that insignia is the name Hjurvibrand, Hyurvibrand. The guards each
Hjurvibrand?
Yeah, Hjurvibrand.
Okay.
The guards each step to the side of the door, kind of clack their heels together as they stand guard, and the door slowly, basically kind of Star Trek raises up, and inside you see a elven man, his golden blonde hair cut tight to his head. His emerald green eyes sit below very well-crafted, well-tended to eyebrows. The pointed ears at the side of his face slope into a sharp jawline that meet at a very thin-lipped center with a well-waxed mustache framing his upper lip.
I thought you'd be younger.
Just sort of raises an eyebrow at that.
And a human at that.
Wow. Been doing what I do for a long time. Although I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
Come in, there's much to discuss.
Apparently. He'll walk in.
The door will slowly slide shut behind you. Meanwhile, outside, Nara, Denir, Asmo, you are left with Captain Ivar.
If there is anything you wish to find or see, I know this city well. I was reared here.
Where is the Academy for the High Arcane Arts?
Ah, the Academy. It lies within. It is the core of the city. Each district branches off from one of its many schools. You would need to pass through our academy, our outpost, to find admittance.
He holds up the scroll that he got from Cyril. Eventually, I believe that we will need to head there and speak to Fithrobar.
An introductory notice.
We left quite the impression.
Very Wondercrack.
What kind of currency do you use here? I'm very curious. Things seem very advanced from the world that you left behind so many years ago.
Around here, much is provided to those as long as they need. Many distributors and manufacturers will simply provide given the proper status of the subject looking to attain.
Oh boy.
Of course, as you are from the outside, if you have rare materials, various curiosities that we might not find here, certain levels of trade might be had as well.
I could work with that.
He gives you a very nervous smile.
I imagine that knowledge from another world would be most appreciative, among other things.
Assuming you have knowledge that we lack. A magnificent assumption.
True, but you have been here for a very long time, and a lot of things have happened since Arcanos led your people away.
It is not unheard of for some to leave and return.
Ah.
How you call them? Adventures.
Fascinating.
He actually it kind of gives a subtle smile when you say that.
What is the... Are there only elves here, or are more of... Do they also call this place home?
This is a city of elves. Sometimes we have visitors from the wilds, and sometimes those from sister cities will arrive as well. But this is the jewel of the realm, Lonothrond.
Ah, so there are other settlements, not just this one.
Yes.
And can I assume that Arcanos is somewhere in this city?
He looks behind himself and points up.
His tower sits at the center. It is where he culminates all knowledge that the school, and it is where he provides knowledge to it.
What's he like, if you've ever met him?
He acts as the headmaster. He will sometimes grace us with his presence.
He looks onward in awe at the golden statue sitting at the center of the fountain.
He is wise and kind. He will provide for those who are worthy of his words.
Looking at the statue, Lani, is it the same face that I saw behind the crystal in Icehelm?
It looks very similar, yes. The crystal was a bit distorted, looking at it through fractals, and this golden statue, well crafted as it is still a piece of metal sculpted, and while the elves would never admit it, might be a flaw here or there.
What? I'll word this properly. I assume that there are a great many differences in the quality and what kinds of things that are produced here. What is Lonothrone known for crafting? What does Lonothrone specialize in making, if anything?
If you are looking for any sort of magical artifacts, Lonothrond is the only place. Arcanos, who has dedicated his whole existence to the secrets that lie beyond our reach, and has so graciously provided us with means to reach them. If you are looking for any type of magic to make your lives easier, or we are a mecca for all arts.
I think I know somebody back home that would absolutely love this place. Gives a little grin as he glances over at Asmo.
If you are looking for the latest designs and fashions, the garment district would be where you would look. Our arcane loomers weave the finest designs, suiting various purposes, using all of the latest magical techniques that are allowed to propagate among the general populace. If you're looking for potions, poultices, and various curiosities, the alchemy district, as well as the Bakken market, would be better suited. And the synthesis district, well, when you combine the tinkering of the gnome with our magical advancements. That is where you will find truly special works.
Sounds like a place that Talos and Timry would really thrive. I'm curious. He pulls out the lantern. We came across this in our travels, but this metal I've never seen before. What is it?
Ah, this is an older piece, to be certain. He holds out his hands to take it from you.
Yeah, hand it over.
You are curious about the metal itself?
Yes.
It was once believed that mithril was the purest substance. But much like iron, it too could be refined. Through alchemical means and arcane knowledge. This is a metal of great purity and strength.
So, could it be possible to potentially take mithril that we do have and refine it even further?
It is possible, certainly. We are led to believe that all things are possible until proven otherwise.
Might be something to take a look at, Asmo.
Worth taking a gander, that's for certain.
Of course, if you are tired from your journey, there are plenties of cafes and eateries.
I'm not gonna lie,
Here in the
before I do
promenade.
anything, I would like your finest procurement of meat.
Meat.
Meat. Yes, myself and Nora would like to go find the meat.
I regret to inform you that we do not consume
Do not.
animal
Starts-
flesh.
Animal starts Asmo just starts sweating. Oh my god.
What about people?
Asmo just kind of puts his hand sideways, like, maybe you shouldn't. Like, we kind of.
You can't
So
see
fine.
his face through his visor, but you can almost hear his brow furrow in a very curious, did I misunderstand what was just said sort of way.
Daenerys slowly reaches over and places a hand over Nara's mouth.
He smacks it off of her face.
What?
She's kidding.
About what?
They don't eat meat of any kind here. Of any kind.
Why? How do you live?
Daenerys holds up the fruit that they plucked from the mountain. They eat fruits and vegetables and things like that.
You threw up for like 20 minutes straight last time you ate that.
Because of the climb, not because of the fruit. Also, we should probably warn them about that because knowing how time works, I may have just made a mark on history.
What do you mean?
What?
So, you know how the mists fluctuate time?
It is
Yes.
being studied.
It may be this, no, it's just a theory, but if time continues to loop, that means that is going to be falling forever. And anybody climbing the mountain may get a nasty surprise.
I would be
Hope I'm
interested
never in
in
loop.
I would be interested in hearing of this infinite vomit loop. Have
You would?
I don't think you would.
have you three had coffee?
No? What's that?
Wondercrack. He claps his hands and starts leading the way to a cafe.
Okay.
Oh no.
And while you tell him of your time in the mists and Denir's infinite vomit puke theory, we'll cut back to Wolfgang sitting in the office of the High Commander.
You must be Hjörvabrand.
Correct. High Commander Hjörvabrand. I oversee the military here in Lon Othrond.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Wolfgang Connolly.
Connolly. Pleasure is mine. Now, you'll have to forgive the abruptness of this audience. It's not often that we receive 5 visitors to our city within a month of each other, let alone 2 groups so closely together.
2 groups.
Well, one traveled alone. That's for another time. What business have you here? What brought you?
Well, I suppose we'll tell you what we told everybody. We're looking for Arcanos. Specifically, we're here to speak to Fithrabar at the Academy of the High Arcane Arts about that.
You walk in here brandying about names like you know them. And to go from one so high to another. What motivates your audience with Arcanos?
The probable end of the world.
Would you care to expand on that?
A war is coming. And it involves those of great power. For if it doesn't, then everything will be consumed. Sheer destruction, should we fail.
He lets in a small swallow.
So I hope you appreciate the magnitude of our goal here.
How did you find your journey to this land?
To be blunt, it was awful. I didn't like it at all. We had to travel through...
A smile catches the corner of his mouth.
I have no idea what it looks like on the other side of that fog. But if it's been any amount of years, I'm going to be pissed.
The fog is still something of a study for us as well.
I'll leave that up to you. Me and mine, we have a more immediate goal.
Your journey
But
up
you
the
wanted to
mountain.
speak to me.
I did. Your journey up the mountain. What did you encounter?
Not really a whole lot up the mountain, but well, there is some manner of large reptile at the base. Took care of that. Dreams. I think your giantess guardian was really the only true thing we encountered on that journey up.
He nods toward you, not taking his eyes off of your eyes. Kind of brushes his mustache with his thumb. You're not a normal human, are you?
Normal human?
I've encountered a few in my time.
No, I suppose I'm probably not. Not anymore, anyway.
Do you have anything that you can present to demonstrate your abnormality?
Is there a way I can spawn my wings without going into Radiant Soul?
I'll say sure.
Yeah, I'll just my eyes will sort of flash an amber gold color, and my wings will unfurl from my back for just a moment. Flap a little bit.
He squints as the radiant visage of your wings like flash into existence for a moment, and then recede back into the middle of your back. Very curious indeed. Mr. Connolly, was it?
Wolfgang will do.
Wolfgang. I am not sure how much of a coincidence it could be that you would follow the other. Were you chasing? Were you chasing them?
Chasing?
Hunting. Seeking.
I think chasing is more apropos in this case.
The elf found his way in, being pure of blood. He presented himself at the gate and asked to be held for observation. At his request, we are doing so.
He's here.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
He sort of inhales and he takes one step back and he brushes his hand back through his hair. That makes things way more easy. Or does it?
What is your relationship with this man, this Fezziwig?
His mouth upturns and he grins. He's important. His soul is sick. I'm not sure what else I could describe it as. There is
a parasitic
something.
Entity.
He raises an eyebrow.
Perhaps
so you have been.
Perhaps symbiotic in nature, but yes, we have been studying.
I think he came here seeking a cure, I suppose. But be warned. That thing inside of him, it is dangerous beyond belief.
Your relationship with this man, and the relationship he has with your companions. How would you describe it?
Fuck.
Let's get your persona links.
Fezziwig is I wouldn't say he's an enemy. I think he's more a victim in this than anything. But that thing inside of him undoubtedly is our enemy.
Many would tend to agree with you.
Many.
Yes, myself included.
Good.
This entity that is attached to him. Is this what you believe to be the danger that you face?
I'm not sure what its relationship to the greater enemy is, but there are common themes. I think it might be related in some way, but on the whole, no. There's a different matter than that, than just Fezziwig and the Jester, as we've called him.
He has expressed as much to us.
Oh no, I'm not quite sure what he is. He started off as some sort of alternate personality. Some place where Fezziwig could go to escape the horrors of his reality. And ended up manifesting itself in the form you no doubtly see. I tried to cure him. I don't know what that did. But I think it might have cost people their lives.
He stares, studying you. Throughout this entire conversation, the look on his eyes has been that of someone just very much trying to analyze you. Should give him a roll for something.
You do not strike me as a dishonest man.
I
And
tried
you
not
have
to
given
be.
me much to think about. But until all is brought to light, I would have you stay in this city. Are these terms amenable to you?
Well, I suppose we have time, then. Although... I suppose we have time. We do still have our goal that we need to achieve.
If your
We'll
goal is-
stay, but we still need to find Arcanos.
If you are deemed worthy of an audience, then he will find you, no doubt. But that is not
Wolf
my
King rolls
permission.
as a...
But that is not my
Wolf King.
permission to give.
Fair enough. All right. Where are you keeping Fezziwig?
That is a matter of secrecy. One which does not concern you at this moment.
He sort of stares off into the middle distance.
You've dealt with a similar situation.
The last time he was held in captivity like this, he took half a town with him.
For the first time, his eyes kind of glance off of you.
Be very, very careful.
He looks back to you.
Every precaution has been taken. Now, I've been informed that a few of your companions do not speak the native tongue.
Some can understand. The snake man, he's a little, and he sort of like does that thing where he takes his thumb and his pointer finger and he just sort of shrinks it. He's a little.
I had assumed he was some sort of barbarous pet.
Not untrue.
Well, barbarous maybe, but certainly a formidable individual as well.
Well, in order to aid with translation and to keep an eye on you, as you did bring a defiled into our city.
He holds out his hand, and from the wall, from the white stone wall, another one of those little ferrofluid orbs pops out. This one about the size of a Fabergé egg.
Oh.
It floats over it floats over to you and just starts hanging over your shoulder.
I'll cast Detect Magic real quick.
It's very magical. Kind of like it seems to be ruminating with a number of different schools. It seems to be, as you look at it, a cloud of very small scales, each kind of rotating, each having a few different, like each having a different school of magic seem to be attached to it.
This is your translator, then.
This is Archie.
He can't help but smile at that.
Archie, you will keep an eye on them and report on them.
The egg begins to vibrate.
Affirmative.
Well, Archie, I'm Wolfgang.
Acknowledged. Registered. Name. Wolfgang.
This is so weird.
If you seek accommodation, I will have a place provided for you.
I appreciate that.
The credentials for it will be sent through Archie.
You mentioned a defiled one. I assume you're talking about the Dark Elf.
Yes.
Sort of raises his eyebrows like I had a feeling that might be a problem. Rest assured that when she's with us, she's trying to fight whatever taint might have been on her. She's with us. And that means she's one of the good guys.
I understand that, Wolfgang. And it is because she is with you that I must keep tabs on all of you. Nothing can be left to chance here. It is my job to make sure this place stays safe and secure. If what you are saying is true, then there will be no issue. Not from me, not from my men. But know that not many in this city are as open-minded as those who have been given orders to stay that way.
I suppose that Lanipator has stayed safe and secretive for a reason.
And I would keep it that way.
Very well.
If I have needs to summon you for any further information, you or your companions, I will send a message through Archie. You may wander the city as you see fit. But be mindful. Not all will be so welcoming.
Will do. One last question. You wouldn't happen to know what year it is?
We live under the calendar year 5205.
Does that make any sense to me?
Not really.
Fuck.
We kept markers since the founding of our city.
I see. Well, thank you for meeting with me. Our audience with Fifth Bar, do we do that at our leisure, or do we need some sort of permission first?
Your companion has a scroll of introduction. He would present that at any one of the lobbies.
Okay. Just
Where it
didn't know
will
if there's
then be
any...
verified, collected, and then, if all is true, introductions will be made.
All right, then.
Your time is your own, Mr. Connolly. Use it well.
It is precious. Suppose I'll get out of your hair, then.
Yes.
He raises up his hand, and the door behind you begins to slide open again.
Anytime anything like remotely technological goes off, Wolfgang's expression just goes to "What the fuck." This is amazing. He sort of pauses for a moment and looks back, tips the hat, and then turns around and walks out.
He nods at you as he goes back to basically staring into space almost. You can see the look on his eyes shift as he sits back in his chair. There seems to be like a little bit of a glint flickering in his eye as his eyes fog over. The little egg floating over your shoulder. I can guide you back to your companions. As Archie begins to kind of like float out slightly in front of you.
Much
Not really
obliged, Archie.
Yeah, not really leaving your personal space, but basically acting as a guide. And with that, back in town, you guys are sitting at an outdoor cafe. And Ivar has presented you with these delicate cups of very richly flavored coffee, some of which have various forms of plant milk in them. They all taste very good and unique. So you're saying that outside, climbing down, one might be splattered on.
If the way time is going, how I think it's going, it might be continuously looping through. So it could be a possibility somebody could be splattered. Yes.
I very much look forward to a story should that happen.
I imagine it's going to be a hilarious one to tell.
Yes.
From Wolfgang, you can see everybody as the egg continues to prod you towards them. All of the elven citizens walking around the promenade do seem to give you a bit of a wide berth, Wolfgang.
Nara sips or smells the coffee and like hovers her face right above it, looking at it intensely.
Is a very pleasant, faintly sweet smell, very rich.
What makes coffee so special, Ivar?
Oh, it provides a sort of calming energy. Many believe that it is a natural ichor to boost productivity.
Feel as if I don't have any more of this ever again, I'll be angry. That normal.
Oh,
I'll try it.
Your companion returns. And Ivar.
Oh, I
waves.
thought I thought I was at the cafe as well.
Oh, you are.
You are. You are.
He's waving
talking
at
about
Wolfgang.
Oh, sorry. I was about to say, oh shit. Fuck off.
Yes, this party has 4 members.
Yeah.
As he approaches, Nara sips her coffee.
Ivar stands
Look at
up
this.
and offers you the chair.
I've got.
I hope the meeting went well for you.
It was enlightening. We have a lot to talk about. Look, Nora, I got an egg of my own.
How? Why?
She immediately stands.
Mine can talk. Archie, introduce yourself.
I am Archie. This one designated Nara? Question mark.
Correct.
Registered Nara.
She walks up to the egg and like peers at it very intensely.
Asmo sipping his tea as loudly, and it's like,
I will. You can see this kind of purple flicker at the side of Ivar's helmet.
I am being reassigned. Have
What?
a pleasant time.
Until
Oh.
next we meet, Ivar.
Until that day.
He nods and
Thanks for
begins
the coffee.
Yes.
as he wanders away.
Huh.
Nara tries to like grab the egg and stare at it and like move it around and look at it.
As you try to grab it, your fingers pass through it as if it feels like your fingers are trickling through water as its form morphs around your hand and stays in egg shape over Wolfgang's shoulder.
What the fuck is this, Wolfgang?
My egg is amazing.
Your egg is dumb and you can't touch it, so my egg is better.
And she walks back over to her coffee and sits down.
It begins to like kind of hover around, slowly drifting off of Wolfgang's shoulder, drifting down, encircling Asmo, sipping his coffee. Drifts
I'll take
over
the seat
to
that was
Demir.
pulled.
Hmm?
I'll take the seat that was pulled out for me.
There's a hot cup of coffee sitting there. Apparently Ivar ordered you one.
I get a feeling you're really gonna like this, Wolfgang.
Smooth, rich, full-bodied. The best part of waking up.
Damn.
it's a good ass.
This is pretty good.
As I'll start drinking faster. It's just,
Yeah.
I like it.
I feel like I could drink a lot of
it.
it.
Like it.
All right, settle down now.
Nah, this elven magic brew is great.
Pretty good. I feel like I'm gonna actually drink all of this. I didn't even know if I'd drink any of it, but it's actually, it's pretty good.
I wonder where they get it from. What kind of beans grow in a magic city?
I don't know what kind of fruit grows here, but it's blue.
There are many beans and many fruits. Would you like a list of the flora?
Yes.
Acai, apple, avocado.
It begins listing things alphabetically.
do we recognize any of them?
As Archie lists these off, on the widest part of its stomach, it does produce a picture of the berries and fruits and vegetables that it continues to cycle through.
Curious.
Cabbage.
But do we recognize them? Or is this all stuff that we've never seen before?
Some of them are things that you haven't heard of before. Some of them are familiar. It's clear that some of these things are synthesized, created here. Some of these are things that maybe would not grow regionally around where you've been.
Huh.
Lani, the fruit that we picked off of the mountain, does that fruit show up in Archie's database as he's going through?
How many hours do you sit and wait for him to list all these fruits and vegetables?
I am not doing that. I'm just doing it as long as Wolfgang is allowing it.
Archie.
Tomato. Or,
Hold
no,
on.
not, it would be carrot.
Hold off on the list for the moment.
Pausing.
There was a sort of bluish fruit that we saw outside of the city. Denier, do you still have it?
I've got the cut up one. Denier pulls out a little bit of cloth and he shows the one that he's been cut up and eating on.
What is that?
Giant's ambrosia.
Ambrosia. Huh.
Not bad.
That makes sense. I suppose that makes sense for what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Giant's ambrosia.
Denier takes a sip of the coffee and he offers to ask us some coffee.
Eska starts like working his way along your shoulder. Kind of dips his nose towards it. His nose touches the liquid. Kind of brushes his nose and flutters back behind you.
That's not important right now. I have updates.
Okay.
Good. Let's have it.
Fezziwig is here.
What?
Well, I expected as much.
Your mist lands all over Archie, and a ripple shoots down, collecting all of the droplets of coffee you just spat on him and depositing them onto the ground.
Great.
He's here, and he's being held.
Arcanos is here too.
Are we killing him?
No.
What?
Uh,
Nara, shh.
Archie turns red.
We're not. We're not. I turned to. We're not.
Archie stays red.
You've pissed off the egg.
Well, it's your egg. No wonder I've pissed it off.
They're listening to us.
Okay, great.
We're not. I say one more time, and I turn away.
Okay, fine. We're not killing him.
Just stays hovering.
I doubt we even could. So, he's being held. And he's being observed. They know a lot about, he taps like his temple.
Brains. Thinking. Mind games.
The Jester.
Oh.
Have you met the Jester? I forget.
No? I don't think so. You guys have
Nope,
talked
they
about him, but I don't remember meeting him before.
Pray never have to.
Last time we came across a jester was back in Silver Rock.
Mm.
The first time in Silver Rock.
Then no.
Right. Not our most recent trek to Silver Rock, which involved. Anyway,
Murder?
I kick her shin.
What? Ow! God, you're
Anyway.
fussy.
That's one of the things I've learned. They're not letting us see him, though.
Isn't that like a big thing about your deal?
Well, we just needed to find him before he did something foolish. If he's here, then I guess the matter is taken care of for the moment.
It's out of our hands for right now. I imagine he's not going to be contained there forever.
I told them about that. I told them what happened the last time they contained him.
What did happen the last time?
Boom.
That was a lot of different. Factors.
But at the end of the day, the castle was destroyed.
Sure was. I was inside of the guts of it whenever it came down.
Oh, I'm glad you survived.
So am I.
So, no Fezziwig, but now Enos.
Right. Well, we still need to discuss with Fithrabar about that. Denier, you have that rite of passage. You just need to present that at one of the gates. They'll let us through.
All right.
Some mumbo jumbo about registering and checks and balances and stuff like that.
Gotta make sure that
Really?
we didn't fake They have to make sure that we didn't forge it.
We
There
did
are-
so much to get up here, though, and it's already been 1,000 years.
I sure hope
Gonna
not.
have to wait again.
I really hope not. I don't want to go out there and meet my feckin' grandkids. Well,
Well, let's walk somewhere, because I feel like I can't really sit down anymore, and I don't really know why, but I have, like, a lot of energy, and I don't really want to sit here anymore. Can we go do something? Please? 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 Please?
Archie,
Like bouncing in her seat.
Hjorverbrand said that we would have accommodations. Could you show us to those?
Affirmative.
Does he sound angry?
He does sound more terse. But he begins to float up and ahead of you and starts to lead you across the promenade over to this area down here. The northernmost triangular building there. He leads you up to the front. It appears to be some form of hotel. It's it has kind of like very
Temporary
lovely
lodging.
very lovely pillars out front, kind of holding up this what appears to be a balcony cafe that peers just over the roofs of the shops behind you.
Nara, the minute they get up, like gets out of her seat and like zooms around the party and just like runs every possible corner, running around Archie.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're being stared at a lot. First of all, you guys are outsiders. Nobody seems to want to be approaching you, but you're getting a lot of disgusted looks, especially as they notice that the egg that's floating with you is red.
I'm just mad because your egg is red now. If you had my egg, it wouldn't be red, but it's my egg, so you can't have it.
Nara continues to express her zoomies. The foyer of this hotel is, it looks like a really nice 5-star establishment. Nice marble floors, fine stone and fine wood furnishings, each covered over by a number of plush accoutrements. Everything looks like very svelte inside.
Archie.
The person behind the desk, a female elf with slicked back black hair and a very nice form-cut uniform of gold and maroon, looks up. Her eyes, she seemed like she was about to smile before she realized who she was looking at. This raggedy group of non-elves, and her eyes stop on you, Nara. And she gets that kind of Tucker Carlson, what the fuck is happening face.
Nara stands, but in the way that there's so much tension in her body because she wishes she was moving, that it's almost like she's buzzing.
Asmo slides in front and just goes,
Hi, we're new. We're here to get a room, apparently. Can't think you have a full house.
As you continue to speak in common at her, she reaches under the desk and pulls out a bottle and just starts this aerosol bottle that just starts spraying around you, Asmo. It smells fresh and floral.
I can't help it. Asmo just looks back while others spraying him.
I can't help but feel this is racist somehow.
Go ahead and make me a con check. Or a con save.
19.
It burns the eyes a little, but you're not blinded.
Ah! My eyes! It burns!
In
From what?
Elvish,
What?
in Elvish, she calls out, "Security!"
That won't be necessary, I'll say in Elven. We are here on... We already have accommodations prepared for us. Hjörvabrand can back that up for me.
She looks towards she looks towards your Archie that's floating beside you. She looks very disappointed, very trepidatiously disappointed. Credentials.
He's angry because of her.
Credentials. Archie melds with the table, then forms back out and starts hovering around you again, Wolfgang. A thin screen pops out of the table. It lights up, flickers, with a bunch of different elven text and information and pictures of all four of you. And she sighs deeply.
She disappointed our photos aren't better, or what?
I think she's just unhappy that we're not elves. I say in common. Also, my egg is red.
What does that have to do with anything?
Daenerys is leaning against the counter, just staring at this screen, fascinated.
You know,
it appears to
Nara,
it would appear to you like it is a minor image illusion, just kind of popping out of the desk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back in the older cultures, Nara, they would cut off the fingers of thieves, or they would carve letters into the foreheads of criminals based on the crimes they've committed. I think this is something similar.
What does that mean?
You were speaking about ill intentions, and now the egg is angry.
Your egg is mad? You've only had it for 5 minutes. My egg still loves me.
The lady behind the
Egg
desk
old
is
enough to have an opinion.
waving over a couple of people. She whispers to them, glances back at you, and the elven bellboy, also in a nice maroon and gold outfit, with a little bit less flair than the one that the lady behind the desk is wearing, in Elven says, just kind of nods his head backwards. This way. He begins walking kind of scowlfully, leading you towards a very small room near the back of this. He holds his arms out and entreats you to enter the small room.
As in
Wow. You know, for a bunch of elves, I thought the accommodations here would be more,
Yeah, it's a very
not
small,
tiny.
Yeah, a very small, unfurnished room that he then also steps in with you. Sorry, go ahead.
As I was gonna say, well, let's be honest here, they don't really exactly have a lot of visitors, so let's be honest, temporary space like this is used for probably one or two things, and it's never a good reason. So
The presence of this place. The presence of this place itself is a little strange, but
there's more to it than you think, I believe.
As he joins you in this small room, which is now feeling really cramped, you're not sure how the hell you'd sleep in a place like this. Once again, Wolfgang, you're familiar with this by now, but a door kind of slides down from on top. He puts his hand on a crystal on the wall and makes a kind of a circular hand motion with his index finger out pointed. And you feel the room kind of vibrates, and you feel yourself kind of getting pressed down a little bit. And when he takes his hand off, the door once again opens, and you're looking down a long hallway filled with many doors.
Oh.
Jazz hands it
Cool
at
trick.
Crystal. See?
He entreats you to leave the elevator.
Oh. Wow.
Wolfgang is holding the safety rails with a death grip.
I'm just at this
What
point,
happened?
I'm not amazed by anything. We got launched up here by a giantess. There's no rules. This is madness.
I have faced off against demons, devils, and monsters my entire life, but this is the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
He leads you down the hallway to a set of doors marked 728. Opens the door, and inside you have a little suite. There's a couch sitting in the middle of a common space room with a table. There is a big screen on the wall with some a kind of just an odd screen. It looks like a black frame sitting there. The far wall is a window, and you are much higher up than you previously were. There are 2 bedrooms in this suite, kind of across the hall from each other from a common area. He's describing this to you in Elven, and Archie is translating. And in here is the washroom. He looks at all of you.
This sure is.
Yeah.
Listen, we had a long
Interesting.
journey, buddy.
Listen, what do you think life is like out there? We have these.
You don't have to climb a mountain to get to work.
No.
He's just kind of gesturing around, just continues looking at you. Shakes his head.
Dedeer's inspecting the black screen.
It sits on the wall, snug. It is definitely attached there by some sort of frame. And the elven bellboy just kind of like just leaves.
Man, he's boring. Asmo, we're gonna pick a room.
She grabs his hand and immediately runs toward one of the rooms.
Okay, this is our room.
The beds are nice. These are the softest beds, the most comfortable beds you have ever seen.
She immediately runs, jumps, and lands face first in it.
You are cushioned by it, and then slowly the bed begins to give buoyancy to you. So you are supported as if you're like laying on a... it's almost like a water bed, but it stays firm where it needs to. Like a really, really good memory foam mattress. But it maintains a neutral temperature. A man can dream.
These beds. Can we have one of these in the tower? Denier, can you make one on the tower? Can we have one? Like 2, maybe 3, 5.
Denier, go ahead and give me an investigation check as you're trying to figure out this frame on the wall.
That's a nat 20. Oh
my god, hell yeah.
Okay, that changes.
You start to investigate it, and it seems to operate almost like a magic mirror would. It definitely seems like it's meant to transmit some sort of images through it. As you are looking around, there must be some sort of device in order to activate it. And sure enough, you find another black rectangle with all sorts of elven numbers and runes on it. And you find one at the top that's just basically activate. You turn it on, and the screen begins flashing with colors. Up next on Scrynet! We have words with the we have a sneak peek at the latest designs of Dustella Fithrostir. What hot new looks are coming next season? Find out after the break. Hey guys, thanks for rolling with us today. If you want to catch us live, you can do so over on twitch.tv/Lanipator, Mondays at 4 o'clock Central Time. Now, back to the action. All right, so you guys find yourself in the room, in your nice room. Denier has figured out how to get the Scrynet to work. As you're flipping through the channels, you find one that with a very handsome elvish man. Everything about him, like he's got like shortcut hair on the sides, kind of like a parade of colors on the top of his head, and he's looking into the camera. Thank you for turning into Scry Time tonight. I'm Saren Sassalassafrix. Welcome. We have some interesting news here today. So, apparently, we have visitors. No, not just, the random run-of-the-mill water nymphs or dryads or whatever might be skulking through the forest entering into our fine city. No, I'm talking about true outsiders. And you see a picture of each of you as you were standing in the gateway.
Oh no.
You recognize your faces all kind of looking in probably the least photogenic poses possible.
Please, can Asmo's face
God,
be tilted to the
that's
side, but
yeah.
like one eye is half so like
Now,
Mr. Simpson, no!
Now, I'm not sure why the powers that be deign to let them in, as they are traveling with, of all things, a defiled? I'm sorry.
I shouldn't say that about you.
I'm sorry. I thought that, the bane of our existence wouldn't be just waltzing through the front door of this city. What has happened? Who is in charge these days? I don't think people are asking enough questions. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to ask the questions as to why some beast, some feral beast, some raggedy man, a defiled, and their pet lizard thing all wandered in here on their own.
Now it's personal.
What is... I'm the defiled one?
Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Found a beer.
Yes, they have they have canned beverages in a little cold box in the room.
This is fucking amazing.
It's like a crackberry cider.
So wait, what's a defiled one?
That's what they're referring to you as.
Why am I a defiled one?
Because your skin...
They sit.
Because they're blaming you for the circumstances of your birth.
Well, they're born on top of a really fucking annoying mountain. They should be the defiled ones.
Now, luckily, it does seem the powers that be saw fit to tag them with an Archie. But rumor has it that the last time they were seen, it was red. Go figure. I don't think they mean us any well. So, if you see them out there, keep your distance, folks, and, be ready to defend yourself.
Oh, they should definitely be ready to defend themselves if they're
Nara,
gonna...
nope.
This has been
He's being really rude!
This has been Sarin Sassalara Flicks, and you've just been informed.
Sarin Sassa... whatever the fuck.
Turn
I'm
off.
gonna remember that shit.
Sassaralafix. S-A-S-A-R-A-L-A-F-I-X.
Sassarelafix.
Didn't your turns on cartoons?
Fuckhead.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, let's turn off Elf Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, you cycle through until you find elf cartoons. They are deeply confusing. The animation ain't bad, but you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
How angry are people on the internet about it because it's a reboot?
You don't have access to the Scrynet bleep farm, but there are plenty of negative bleeps about it.
Absolutely.
Tons of negative bleeps. But, but it has its fans.
Archie.
It hovers in front of you.
How long are you going to stay red for?
It starts to pulsate. Uncalculable.
Why are
You pissed
red?
it off, Wolfgang.
You pissed it off.
Why did I piss it off? It's your egg.
Suspicious behavior was detected.
Ugh, fucking.
See,
red.
Wolfgang, you were being suspicious.
You were the suspicious one.
How am I being suspicious?
Your voice plays back. And kill him?
Well, what? It was a legitimate question.
I don't think they get your sarcasm here.
I don't.
They live in a society.
Ah,
And your
fuck,
walk's
they
off.
do?
I pull out Requiem and fucking shoot De Niro. No, I don't.
Oh my god.
Archie.
It
often
pulses?
How often does crime occur here?
Registered crime occurs on a relatively infrequent basis. Which crime would you like to hear about?
All of them.
Murder?
Murder. There are 5 cases of murder registered every calendar year.
What?
Holy fuck.
5 every year?
5 a year.
Just in another room. Just a reminder, we are entering this city with a clean slate. Let's try to keep it that way.
We've committed no crimes. We're here on benevolent business that concerns the fate of the world.
Analysis in process.
Right. We had to talk about that. Anyway.
Archie, what makes me a defiled one? Why did they call me that?
But you're different.
History on the Defiled. The Defiled were a subjugant race. They turned on their brothers, siding with the enemy.
Hold on, quick question. Who wrote the history of the Defiled Ones? Machine?
Machine? His name is Archie.
Archie, thank you.
It continues to let you know that during Solomon's outburst, those elves that basically bent the knee to Solomon and took his side were given their flesh was turned dark, and basically all those who joined Solomon in his war against the elves and against the sun, I guess, all were basically painted as villains through the history of this, through the collective history of the people of this land.
Okay. Well, that was like when they decided to do that, though. What if you're born into that?
I don't think it matters too much to them.
I don't know, Archie, does it matter?
Archie does not care one way or another.
That's what
I
I
had a feeling.
figured.
Archie, deactivate red mode.
It does nothing.
I don't think it's gonna stop being mad at you, Wolfgang.
It's mad at you. We've established this.
Not mad at me.
Nope, it's canon.
Archie holds no emotion, only suspicion.
Ooh, wait, isn't that an emotion? Hang
Heard
on.
a lot of guys with heard a lot of guys with emotion say that exact statement.
Lenny, which bed is more comfortable? The beds in Meteornock that feel like clouds, or these beds?
These beds.
Oh,
Wow,
shit.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Oh.
Damn.
Meteornock, the beds feel like clouds, but they also offer very little support. These beds, they seem to like kind of form fit to you and shift as you need them to.
It's magic versus science.
Magic versus magical science.
Yep, I like these beds better.
Well, they got one thing right. They know how to make a bed.
Well, it's not exactly like we have access to the other beds now.
I doubt Danilo throwing down his castle in the middle of everything would exactly sit well with the
That
walls.
would be funny to see what happens, though.
I don't think it'd be good.
Probably
though.
a lot of talking, though, Nara.
And
What
a
do you
lot of
mean?
us being detained for suspicion.
That usually happens anyway, so it'd just be kind of speeding up the process, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
If we
Sure.
can avoid that, though, for the time or duration here, I'd rather not have to deal with invisible soldiers. I'd rather
Sounds kind of fun.
I'd rather we keep amicable with the invisible elves with scary technology.
That call me defiled. Speaking of which,
I can't really
Walk
fix
into the
society in a
bathroom.
day, Nara.
well, work on it!
Nara, think of it like this. This is your chance to show that you are not what they think you are.
How so?
You are going to be the shining example of your race to these people. Whatever you do, they're going to see that as your race, since this is the first time they've ever met anybody like you in their life. This is your chance to either prove the doubters wrong or your chance to prove them that they were right the entire time.
I mean,
Dinner, can you word that in a way that isn't so absolutely fucking terrifying?
Out of character. Damn, dude.
Just put all that weight right on Nara's shoulders. There we go.
There we are. There we are. Good, good.
so that's not gonna go well. Just a heads up, heads off. You know.
Hey, I have a
So
heads up for
I'm
you
gonna
two,
go
by the way,
check
Nara.
out this room.
Which she
Hey,
goes in the
Nara.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Hey, Nara, probably not going to be able to get bodies while I'm up here.
Yeah, I
We'll just
did.
ask-
Hang on.
Why?
They will ask more questions. Do you want to explain to one of the ones who believe you're the defiled one why I need to make a body disappear out of nowhere?
Archie,
you need
to mind?
Archie is turning crimson.
Will you all stop talking about things like that? He motions towards Archie.
What about it?
You're scaring Archie.
Archie is
Tough.
not afraid.
Oh,
Archie's
he must be
suspicious.
terrified.
Anxiety.
That's why he turns red. He's nervous.
He's a warning sign to the rest of them about how dangerous we are as a group. The more you all talk about this kind of thing, the deeper he's going to get. And that's a beacon to everybody else.
Okay,
saying,
hold on.
Hey,
Would
don't trust
us-
these people.
With us putting away a bunch of our weapons, would that calm it down?
I'm gonna
don't
go
think
with
so.
no.
Well, I tried my best.
You did.
Archie, how can we reverse your redness?
Disarming yourselves would avert suspicion.
Where would we keep our weapons if we were to disarm ourselves? Here?
You may store them with the proper authorities.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Archie will not force you to do anything.
Good.
Good on you, Archie. Good on you.
Let's maybe think about it if we're, like, going to a place, you know. If they ask for them, let's not resist.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm going to take a shower. I heard someone say it in the lobby.
He walks into the bathroom and starts touching everything.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Ah, come here.
Ho!
Damn.
Roll 20! 21!
Oh, yes!
You experiment and fiddle with everything. They can make water come out of the walls here. It's kind of magnificent. And if you press on various runes, it will heat to whatever temperature you want it to. You find the small closet off to the side where you're able to make water rain down from the sky like it's raining, and you're able to adjust the temperature as you see fit until you feel yourself in this perfect rainstorm of water that is just the perfect temperature for what you're looking for.
Oh my god. She will scream. Esma!
What?
Get in here!
God damn it. Asma just gets up. 1 second. Kicks off his boots before he gets in there. What?
Look at this. Look! Look! Look!
She has both hands out, gesturing at the water.
There's water raining from the sky in this one room. Also, Nara, were you undressed for this situation, or are you still dressed?
Oh no, she undressed.
Okay.
Eyes outside.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, it looks great. Looks really great there, Nara.
It's coming from the
come on.
ceiling.
It's not the first time you've seen a woman naked, is it?
The first time I've seen Nara naked.
Blood
That is not true.
blood is draining from his face.
Yes.
Really?
We've been clothed all the time. We've been going since she showed up.
I don't know. I don't know what goes on in your life.
Militant, never nude.
I slept in your bed naked when you...
I was asleep for that.
That is a good point. Your eyes were closed.
My eyes were closed.
Oh, you rolled me in a blanket. I forgot. Well, here is my naked body.
So
Archie,
the
can you play
rain
some
falling.
music?
So the weather right now in this room.
Archie.
The weather is raining in the bathroom.
It's a good ass bathroom.
Asma's looking away, like she's always trying to make sure there's only peripheral vision.
Archie.
Fine, just leave.
She kicks him out and shuts the door.
All right, good. Thank you.
Playing music.
After she's already kicked him out of the room.
I heard that music.
Yep.
Like,
Archie just starts playing music. Yep.
Okay, well,
Ah, yes, from famous elven composer Beethoven.
Oh my god.
Beethoven.
Daenerys walks into another room and he changes clothes from his adventuring gear to his fine outfit that he uses to meet nobility in.
All right, Daenerys, would you like to describe your new attire?
Well, this is just the stuff that I got back in Dragon's Rest. That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
This is the stuff that Bahum gave us. So,
Make sure
Archie,
your
how do I
all
look?
set out. Oh, you're asking Archie how you look?
Yeah, in my in at least the silk clothes and the fine clothes that we got from Bahum back in like episode 1.
He scans you over for a moment. You look as though a man and a cat copulated.
Not
Wow.
the first time I've heard that. Thank you, Archie.
Affirmative. Archie continues playing Hall of the Mountain King. Anybody else doing anything with their spare time?
Oh, boy.
This might be a good opportunity for us to visit some of the markets, maybe pick up supplies, drop off supplies, or, settle in for the moment. Because, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit tapped.
Archie,
Yes.
what does, what is your currency here?
It's it pulsates like kind of ripples a little bit as if it's processing the question. Lone Throne does not operate on traditional currency. Most items are acquired by status or by trade. Some might look for rare items from those who have traveled from outside. Rare materials, ingredients. Those might be found highly valuable by the right buyer.
So it's a trade economy with sort of a meritocracy thing going on.
respect
Fun.
the meritocracy. Meritocracy. Respect it.
Oh, boy. Archie, have you ever heard of a man called Grabthar?
Scanning database. Grabthar. First visitor in centuries. What would you like to know?
What is his status with the city? I guess ours is currently red.
Grapthar was highly esteemed by those in the synthesis district.
The synthesis. What?
That's the Gnome Meets Magic district, I believe.
How often does he show up?
Scanning. Grapthar appeared several centuries ago and stayed with us for 2 centuries. Upon leaving to visit his homeland, he never returned.
So he's not currently here.
Affirmative.
Oh. Strange, we never saw him.
I think we just missed him a couple times.
It's possible, but I think it's clear he was trying to find his way back. What else? Do I have anything else?
I relay the information that I asked of previously to the guard, and I relay it to Wolfgang so that he knows what I know.
From in the bathroom, you hear a snap.
What was that?
Oh boy. You
You
okay
alright
there?
Whoop, 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 whoop. Snap.
I'm so scared to know what that is.
Are you alright in there? I sort of knock on the door.
This is the best room in existence.
Are you breaking something?
No.
Snap.
What are
She
you doing?
comes out squeaky clean in her clothes and has a hand towel that she is holding the opposing corners of.
Of
Junior
course.
runs.
And she rolls it up and snaps Wolfgang.
Go ahead and make a. Do you have a dagger on your character sheet? Because this was essentially just be a dex attack.
Holy shit.
I don't know if I do. Mm-mm-mm.
If not, it would just be dex plus proficiency.
Let's do Dex plus that. Proficiency was where? Sorry.
It's 4 for us.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be. It's an 11.
Yes.
I think that misses Wolfgang's AC. So
Yep, by a lot.
yeah. Don't
So
quite
she
get him.
snaps his coat. She snaps
just
his
sort
coat, but it doesn't really do anything to him.
Just sort of pauses, looks down, looks back up. You're having fun.
Yeah. She winds it up again and snaps him again.
Go ahead and try another attack.
Oh my god. Oh no. 22.
That barely hits.
Wolfgang, it catches the corner of your eye. Just psst.
Ow.
You don't take any damage, but you feel it.
I'm getting good at this. They have weapons everywhere.
I don't think you're going to be doing much damage with that thing.
She runs over and snaps Asmo too.
Ah, son
Go
of a...
ahead and make
I'm
another
cleaning
one.
my boots to be presentable.
It's fine.
21.
I think that's higher than your base AC, unless you're taking a defensive action.
I don't know.
Do I need to roll?
You don't roll anything. She
I'm
just
not
like
gonna take a
she just
defensive
cra-
action.
She just cracks you with the towel.
Ah!
After
Your
Crocs
ready's
is
in action.
smart.
And of course, she runs over to snap Denier as well.
All right,
As
Veneer,
she
what
does-
action did you ready?
While the children
What? As soon as she runs over to Deer, Misty steps away.
Oh, you're no fun.
Where do you reappear?
Beside Wolfgang. Gotta be faster than that.
Boo.
Well,
I'll
you all
get
have fun. Now it's my turn in the funny room. I'll just go into the bathroom.
Oh my god, wait, Wolfgang.
And she runs in ahead of him and like points at all the knobs and is like, this does this and this does that.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And when you press this,
Mhm.
the water comes out here, and then it's cold if
Wow.
you do this, and then it's hot if it's over here, and this,
Uh-huh.
this
She holds up a small bar.
is soap.
I know what soap is.
Well, you're boring.
She tosses it over her shoulder and leaves.
I go over, pick it back up, and then I take a shower.
You have a wonderful experience bathing yourself. All like at like the ground, all the water running down you, like there is just like this tepid brown water that swirls down a drain at your feet.
Ugh.
You have not felt this refreshed in a very long time. All right. So what's everybody want to do with their time?
I actually would love to check out one of the districts. The districts just look fun. I've been eyeballing garment, alchemy, and synthesis, and I just don't know which I want to go to more.
Daenerys wants to check out the garment district.
Nara will lost puppy follow. And she doesn't know where anything is because she wasn't paying attention.
You all spend a couple hours just refreshing yourself in the room. Anybody who wanted to take a shower could take a shower. When you are heading out, you actually notice outside the window, it's dark, it's night out, but all of the buildings, especially some of the taller ones, are glittering with lights. Even though it's dark out, you're used to maybe seeing some lantern light or something. There are so many different colored lights, and from out your window, as you look past the central tower, which is this luminous bar of light sticking out of the middle of the school, you can kind of see this glowing red district out back where the alchemy district is. You can't see the synthesis district from where you are, but the garment district is glowing with a multitude of colors. The promenade, actually the waters of the promenade are now this very psychedelic sort of water light show. Each of the fountains kind of spitting out a different color that cycles every now and again. All of which are reflected on the statue. It looks almost like a carnival boardwalk now. And as you leave, what you expect to be just kind of like dark city streets are all illuminated by these very bright lanterns, these lamp posts scattered throughout the city. So even though it is dark in the sky, everything is nearly as clear as daylight to you as you walk around. This is very different. And of course, after tonight's news, it is very noticeable how wide a berth and how much snickering and chiding you guys are getting as you're walking through. Every now and again, a few people might actually hold up and just like throw something at you.
Okay.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, a group of younger elven boys kind of look like they might be in their teens. They're just kind of snickering to each other. They yell, "Hey, defiled!"
Can Azul try and catch that?
Archie would be translating if it's yelled directly at you.
No, I'm going to catch the rock, whatever was thrown at.
They are hurling something. Go ahead and give me a dex check.
Alrighty. Oh, 8.
Oh.
Plus
As you raise your hand up to catch it, they were throwing a cup of something. You manage to wing the bottom of it, which tips the face forward, and it splatters all over Nara.
Sorry, Nara.
It is this thick, pink, cold goo. It's also kind of
Immediately
sticky.
over at the young elves.
You know, it makes sense that there are 5 murders here every year.
Archie starts to pulse with a sound.
Nara.
Oh, great.
But
now he's barking.
Go ahead and give me an intimidation check with that, though.
Okay. With Archie behind me as well.
Fucking Archie's barking at you.
23.
Your malevolence flows through your eyes as they look at each other kind of panicked and they start to run away. Yeah, Archie is now making a kind of like a beaconing, pinging noise. This.
Oh boy.
Hey, don't get mad about stuff you told me about, Archie.
Archie, why
I
are you
only
barking?
thought it makes sense.
Archie, how do you react to people when they throw things at other people here?
Archie stops pinging after a few moments.
Well?
Sorry, what were you asking, Archie?
I was asking him why he's barking.
He does not.
Why are you barking,
he does not,
Archie?
It is part of my programming.
Okay.
Asmo pretty much said,
So one of your citizens threw something at one of the guests.
Acknowledged.
That's it.
Would you like to file a report?
You
Oh,
damn
yeah.
right I would.
Scanning. Transmitting proper information to authorities. Transmitted.
You near cast prestidigitation on Nara to try to help clean her up.
Sure, it's not difficult to. The cold, kind of viscous liquid is able to just kind of be separated from her and her clothing pretty easily.
Can't believe it. Poured a strawberry milkshake on her head and said, "You will never make the cheerleading team."
Pretty much.
Damn.
You guys continue along. You get a lot of that same, like the same reception. Not like these guys aren't throwing, like not as many people are throwing stuff at you, especially after they witnessed the threatening outburst from Nara. But as you continue to go, more people are giving you a wide berth. You wander across the front of the promenade towards the garment district. As you walk in here, there is a beautiful park that kind of stretches throughout the district, where you can walk through there if you just wish to get in a little bit of fresh air. The district itself is made of a multitude of buildings, each of them standing at least 5 stories high. And all over them are these large moving paintings that glow. These luminescent paintings showing off various designs, some of which
How big
have
are they?
brand names attached to them. The buildings themselves.
Yeah.
I'd say this one right here, you're probably looking at one that's maybe a storefront of multiple stores. Like there are multiple places here that are probably about 150 meters long across this street here. Essentially, on the inside of those will be various manufacturers and what is essentially a clothing mall.
Mm-hmm.
There, around this district, there are a lot of people wandering around in very fine attire, like the finest of silks with sometimes even animated embroidery moving around them. Like there's one woman walking around with a navy blue, very tight-fitted dress with a slit up the side, and there's this embroidered silver koi fish kind of swimming around the dress. Various sea flora kind of swirl and squiggle from the bottom of the dress as the fish passes by them. And you see all sorts of get-ups like that.
The heck does peep sign mean?
This is amazing.
Peeps.
I'm getting cultural whiplash.
Me too. Ever since I left the swamp.
All seems stupid to me.
Is there any particular type, if there's any particular type of shop or something that you're looking for, Archie would be able to help you and guide you to it.
Daenerys looking for something that's durable and protective, but also looks good, if that makes sense.
Archie kind of pulses. You seek Willinda's Wanderlust.
That sounds about right.
Archie would guide you there. He would take you through the park down to that larger mall back in the northern quarter of it. Leads you past a couple of shops, a couple of like loom weavers, and eventually you end up at this. It's definitely a nice looking store. Basically, it looks like a kind of like at a mall. I would compare it to a Journeys. where they have like a bunch of like sporting attire, things like that, just kind of speckled throughout. They look like hardier wear made with a denser fabric. And as you wander in, there is a elven boy, I guess, kind of still coming into manhood, standing at the front. What are you looking for? He looks at your Archie and then back to you.
Daenerys gives a happy little smile. We're travelers, and oftentimes we wander through difficult terrain. I was looking for something to not look quite so ragged while I'm on the road, but at the same time still have that protective nature of my previous equipment.
You could probably wrap yourself in bed sheets and get less raggedy than that.
All right.
We don't need any lip.
Which is why we're here, my friend. I want to look good.
Well, feel free to look around. He says, keeping an eye on you as he's kind of like wandering to the corner.
Daenerys gives a little bit of a nod, and he wanders around. He's just perusing for a moment.
The
Mm-hmm.
the elven boy is just kind of standing back in the corner. There are a few other people that begin to join in on this shop. Older elven man kind of comes out of a back room, starts looking at you, and eventually a woman wanders out of the same back room. You were the ones on the Scrynet, weren't you?
Probably us.
Nice to meet you.
Your Archie looks redder than they described.
He's sensitive.
Very.
We're getting to know the local area. Are there any issues with...
Oh, lost you there, Taka.
Oh no.
Oh, still lost him.
Did we lose him?
I don't know.
Apparently-
He's still in.
I think we might have lost him.
What? Well,
Apparently there were issues with...
Just absorbed into the ether by the elf police.
oh,
here
God.
on a-
Oh yeah, there it goes.
To what do we owe the
There he is.
pleasure?
Oh, yeah, sorry, we lost you
Hey,
there.
there we go.
Yeah, what the? I've been talking. I was wondering why everyone was. I thought people were. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Anyways, hi.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask.
Are there any issues with people throwing things at customers in this store?
Asmo says with a obvious what he's trying to say.
Not last I saw.
Good.
To what do we owe the pleasure?
You have out-of-town shoppers for the first time in a while. Let's see what you got.
I was looking to better my appearance, so to say, while still having protection while on the road. We've been traveling for quite a while, and it would appear that there are some culture clashes, so to say. I was hoping to try to amend that a little bit with a fresh set of clothes.
As you speak in common, you can see this flashing device, almost kind of like a Bluetooth earpiece in her ear flashing as as it's processing what you're saying. I want you to make me a persuasion check with disadvantage, Daenerys.
Okay. 14.
Not bad.
I'm not inclined to just give things away to anyone that would wander through here. Do you have anything of value?
I'm willing to trade. Daenerys will. I have a few items from my travels which have served me very well of clothing attire. He pulls out the cloak of incognito, and he also pulls out the bomber jacket of warming. One is able to keep you warm even in the coldest of weathers. The other will mask your face when you're traveling.
The article of a thief.
Not always. There's sometimes when he waves a hand in front of his face, you don't want wayward looks.
She looks at the jacket.
Modest enchantment. Very old. Could be considered retro.
I believe it's what they call, whenever I picked it up, I believe it was in Cold Reach, they called it a bomber jacket. I don't know what a bomber is.
We might be able to make a deal. Come.
Very well.
I must measure you if you're to be fit properly.
And Daenerys will follow.
She holds her hands out to her sides, and two measuring tapes kind of thwip up from her belt into her hands. She throws them out, and they begin wrapping around various parts of you.
Daenerys will hold his arms out and do his best to be as helpful as he can.
The tape will wrap around various limbs and pull them out as they need, and she starts taking measurements and writing stuff down.
Okay. Daenerys makes sure that Eska doesn't get grabbed by the tape.
Eska's just kind of like crawling around your shoulders, like skittering back and forth. The measuring tape kind of skitters around the back of your neck, and Eska just kind of hisses at it.
He can be a little bit protective.
Is there any sort of specific functionality you're looking for?
Definitely I want it to be durable. I expect there's going to be a lot of traveling, a lot of hiking. I used to travel with a cloak a lot, but as such, I don't really feel like I need it anymore. A jacket, like a really long jacket, would be really good. He motions a little bit towards Wolfgang, a little bit like his.
Sort of raises an eyebrow and smiles.
Daenerys holds up a hand and he minor images, minor illusions, what he had in mind. Something like this.
I might be able to work with this. Tell me, are the rumors true that you're here to seek an audience with the Master?
That is true. He points over towards Eska. Arkanos himself gave me Eska, as my familiar on my journey.
Well then, should you make that audience, make sure he knows who provided you the suits that you wear. I can have it done by tomorrow morning.
That sounds like a fair deal. He gives a very happy smile. Thank you for your time and thank you for your open mind. I know that our being here is causing a little bit of concern and a little bit of wariness, but nonetheless, I still thank you for your time.
Tip to the wise, don't piss off your Archie.
We're trying not to. Your culture is a little bit different than ours, and we're still trying to adapt to the rules and regulations of your society, so to say. We don't mean to upset our Archie. We would love to know if there's a way that we can mitigate it or kind of help calm him down.
She looks at the lot of you. Perhaps if you weren't walking around so heavily armed.
Kind of make sure we don't die in the past.
Not my business. Just a friendly bit of advice.
There.
Nara looks kind of sheepish.
Yeah, she doesn't even seem to sneer at you, Nara. Unlike the elven man and the boy that definitely aren't keen on any of this that's going on.
Asa just gives him a look.
Yeah. I suppose you're right. I could leave the walking stick in my room.
I was mainly referring to your many belated and... Is that a fucking... He looks over at Wolfgang. Is that a fucking gun?
He raises a brow.
Fuck.
Yes, this is a firearm. Gnomish.
How common are firearms here?
They exist, but never thought we'd see an outsider with one. Then again, we don't see outsiders very often. Anyway, for the 2 articles of clothing, I will have this one created.
very well. And he hands off the Cloak of Incognito and the Bomber Jacket of Warming from his inventory.
She hangs them on a couple of wide-shouldered frames. Sets the hook atop these frames on a line, and it gets pulled along a conveyor line. She hands you a ticket. Bring this back tomorrow. I'll have what you're looking for.
Ah, of course. Thank you very much. Daenerys seems excited.
She walks towards the back room where the man is standing. She just kind of like waves her hand to the side, and he rolls his eyes, steps aside as she walks back.
Asmo, arms crossed, sitting on probably not even a chair, just a piece of clothing.
A display case.
You know how guys be at the clothing store. Asmo be that guy.
Nara is checking out any of the boots they might have.
They have plenty of boots. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Anything that might have an interesting magical effect put on it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Anything that could be useful.
Let me roll something here. There's an interesting set of boots. They are knee high, very shiny black leather. The bottom of the boots themselves seem to have these kind of like hooked claws on them, like this kind of hooked cross-hatched claw-like pattern beneath them in the tread, and the laces that go from the foot to the knee are in like they can't really be undone, and they're kind of in this spider web like pattern.
What do these do?
Those allow you to climb. Without limits. You can walk on walls with them.
What?
So long as you activate them.
That's pretty cool.
You
Although,
can turn into a monkey anymore.
The man behind the counter.
We wouldn't give them to you.
what?
No defiled witch is going to walk into our windows at night and steal our children.
What the fuck? Why would I want your children?
I don't know, to eat them, to turn them into your kind. To take
I don't
them
even
to
know
your...
how to do that.
But your
And also,
master
I'm not
does,
hungry.
Doesn't he?
Oh my god.
He looks off to an empty corner of the room, and then back to you.
They are not for you.
Detect magic.
Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage.
Blum. 18.
You couldn't quite get a glimpse at what he was looking towards.
Did I?
I turn on the goggles of see invisibility.
You already had your advantage perception.
Beans.
You can give me a perception check.
29.
Sure enough, as he glanced, you look back there. There's the telltale shimmer that you guys are being followed.
Oh, well, there's no surprise.
She gestures directly at the guard.
I thought we had this thing. Why are you here?
The guard decloaks.
I am sorry.
It is, in fact, Ivar.
Hey!
It's,
Norm.
your Archie, it's suggested that you should be monitored more closely. I am simply doing my job.
You could have just said hi.
That's what the bargain was.
That is not part of the parameters of my assignment.
Well, now it is.
Hello.
Hi.
She waves.
You can see beside his face the telltale flashing of a message coming in through his helm.
It seems the High Commander would like to chat with all of you.
Oh boy.
Really?
We only got through half of the city. Oh jeez.
We didn't even
And-
get through half. We only looked at one thing, and then they said we couldn't have it. Only De Niro got the cool stuff.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have made the elf NSA so suspicious. Anyway, here
I
is
know what
where
that
we will
means!
end today's session.